Good morning, watch nerds. As usual, welcome to my channel and welcome to the first review of this particular watch on YouTube. Now, I just sold an inexpensive watch, so it left a slot in my watch box for another inexpensive watch. A few months back, I sold a Pierre Paulin jump hour to a friend of mine, only a few days after I purchased it. The watch was actually excellent in most respects, but if I'm honest, I just didn't like the branding. This, on the other hand, has got a pretty reasonable brand name, albeit I hadn't actually heard of it until recently. Farasute watches are based in China, and although they've got their own website, they can also be bought on Amazon or AliExpress. This particular model will set you back about £200 or $240, so it's neither high-end Chinese micro-brand, nor is it a low-end. I should point out that they've got some really interesting designs, so it's worth having a look on their website, which I'll leave a link to below. And welcome to my unpaid and unsponsored review of the Farasute 2260B. Well, the watch arrived in this rather premium box. There's an outer shell, then the quite sturdy inner box with a brand logo on the top, which I happen to like, and inside is an unsigned 2-year warranty and a cleaning cloth. I have to say, as far as the packaging is concerned, I'm quite impressed. Just a quick wrist check. This is my watch of the day. It's the Kokota Sea Hunter. Now I'll give you the dimensions, but remember this has got a tornado case. At the widest point it measures 36mm. The length, which is also the lug to lug, is 44mm. The lug width is an annoying 19mm, albeit that lug width does actually suit the dimensions, and the depth, including a domed sapphire crystal, is 10.7mm. On this leather strap it weighs about 65 grams. Expect the watch to wear like a 37mm round watch would. Here's a picture of it sitting on the back of my 17cm wrist. Inside is just about the only affordable jump hour movement available, and it won't surprise most people that it's the automatic Seagull ST17. Now, Seagull have been making movements for many years, and from personal experience I've never had an issue with any of them. It ticks away at 21,600 beats per hour, has a 40-hour power reserve, and it hand winds. It doesn't hack, but as this model doesn't have a second hand, that's of no relevance. Now let's have a look at it on the time grapher. There we go, and I haven't even regulated this movement. A fantastic amplitude, spot on beat error, and look at that rate. I suppose you'll want to know how to tell the time with it now, don't you? Well, it's actually quite easy. The one long hand is for the minutes, and the hours are at the window at the top. Now you'll see, as the minute hand reaches the top, it flips over to 10. So the time at present, for example, is 10:25. The 6mm pull-push hexagonal crown suits the case and it's easy to operate. Now, they decided to put this blue round jewel thing on the end, which doesn't actually offend me, but I do think it's a little bit large. I would also point out that the crown doesn't actually fit central to the case. Let me show you. As mentioned, this has got a tornado case, and believe it or not, this is the first watch I've ever owned that's got one. Tornado in French actually means barrel. Now, because this is a dressy type watch, they decided to polish the whole case, and on that subject, I did buy this watch used, so you may see the occasional slight scratch. But anyway, it's made of 316L stainless steel, and the finishing is actually very good. Now you flip it over, and on the brushed case back you can see some basic information. As you'll see at the top, it says water resistant, which is actually only 30 metres, so I'd class it as splash proof. The watch's greatest feature has to be this gorgeous galoche sunburst style. This colour is described as salmon, but it also comes in white and green as well. There's a minute track on the outside with all the indices and font being painted on. Now, they've used a vintage style font, which I happen to think suits the dial really well. Above the 30-minute mark it reads Farasute, with classic just below that. I don't really think they needed to use the word classic, to be honest, but yet again, it doesn't really offend me. It won't surprise you to know there isn't any loom, which I think is the right decision, especially as the hour window would have had to have been loomed, and to be honest that never would have worked. The strap, as mentioned earlier, has got a 19mm width, which will reduce your joists, but that said, it's actually excellent. It's quite thick, it's extremely comfortable, and it's got the added bonus of quick release spring bars. And as you can see, the hardware's signed. So what do I think of the Farasute 2260B? Well, I'm pretty impressed. I'm really glad the manufacturer used a tornado case. The dial is stunning and the strap is fantastic. All in all, this is an excellent watch for the money, and unusually for a Chinese watch brand, the branding is pretty good, especially with this premium packaging. I may have liked a little fine brushing on the case, and that blue jewel thing, well, it's a little bit large, but I don't really have any major complaints. Would I recommend one? Well, if it's your cup of tea, I certainly would. So that brings me to the end of this review. So if you've enjoyed it or not, please click on the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Leave your comments below and enjoy the rest of your day.